Have you heard of ClawdBot? It's probably the first AI personal assistant which is actually useful. It's been taking the internet by storm the last few weeks. It's developed by Peter Steinberger, and him and his community on Discord have been developing like crazy the last few weeks. So it's an open source AI assistant that you host on a server that runs 24/7, and you can talk to it and ask it to do things. It knows everything about you. It has all the right context to perform tasks in a very useful way. You can talk to it through WhatsApp or Telegram or Discord or Slack or wherever you normally talk to people, and you can ask it to do things and it will do things surprisingly well. It can check into flights for you. It can add items to your online shopping order if you send it a photo of a recipe and say, I want to cook it this week. It can monitor stock prices and send you alerts. It can access your email and calendar, let you know when important emails come in. It can schedule meetings. It can develop software for you. It can be your personal assistant, your employee, your co-founder, your advisor, whatever you need. Basically, if you can describe what you want it to do, it can probably do it. So I set it up a few weeks ago and I've been playing around with it and seeing what's possible. One of my favorite use cases is, so I cycle to the gym every morning, and on that 25-minute cycle, I have a lot of dead time when I'm just cycling. Whereas now I have a little mic on my lapel and I just basically brain dump for 25 minutes about thoughts, things I want to do, tasks. If I want to create some new content, I can just speak my ideas, and then that will be sent to my assistant, who can then take that raw brain dump, format it into a nice output for me, and then it can start to take actions on things that I ask it to do. Today I'm going to show the basic setup, so how to get ClawdBot running on a VPS server, how to connect it to Telegram, but then in future videos I'm going to show how to start developing it and making it truly powerful. And crucially, I'm not a developer and I can't code, and it can be quite intimidating for non-coders to try and do all this stuff with VPSs and command line interfaces, but I managed to get it working, so if I can do it, you can as well. And if you get stuck, you can always do what I do, which is just take a screenshot of where you are, send it to ChatGPT or Claude, and say, hey, I'm stuck here, what buttons do I press? And it'll tell you very well what buttons you press. I'm also going to include a link to a guide which has all the commands you need to use, so you can just copy and paste them into the terminal, and I'm just going to show you and walk you through exactly step by step how to do this. You can copy exactly what I do and you'll have your own assistant running in half an hour. Alright, let's get going. So we're going to set up ClawdBot on a VPS, which is a virtual private server. So that means it can run 24/7 without your MacBook or whatever device you use having to be on the whole time. So go to Hetzner.com and create an account, and then go to console. I've already created an account because I've set this up about a week ago. So we'll just go to new project and I'm going to call it MiloBot. Milo is my cat, so that's what I'm going to call my little assistant. Go to create server and then just go down these options here. Click cost optimized, just pick the top one there. Pick a location near to you. So I'm in London, so we'll go for Nuremberg. Ubuntu is correct. Just keep these as defaults. At any point in this, if you get stuck, just take a screenshot, send it to Claude or ChatGPT or whatever, and say, this is what I'm trying to do, this is what I see, which buttons do I click? And it will help you out. It's really good at that. And that's what I did when I first set this up. Okay, so now we get to SSH keys. So what we want to do is add an SSH key. So to do this, we have to open the terminal and run some commands. So we're just going to, first of all, see if you've got an SSH key set up. So you can run this command. And I do. So when we have that, we can just copy and paste this output into here. And then we can just add SSH key. This is the public key, so it doesn't matter that I'm showing it. The actual private key is stored on my Mac. I think you can ignore most of this. Yep. Give the server a name, so we'll call it, let's just call it MiloBot. And then we're going to create and buy now. So they should take, I don't know, anything from 30 seconds to a minute or two to be created, and then we will carry on. Just a quick note on the SSH key. If you haven't got an SSH key set up, then you would run this command and hit enter, and then it would just set it up for you. Just press enter to all the defaults, and then it will give you this output in the same way, and you can copy and paste that instead. I'm just not showing that because I've already got an SSH key set up. I'm going to create a full kind of work through document that you can just copy and paste all these commands from. So you've got literally everything you need to just get this set up without even knowing what it means. I don't know what this really means. I just know that it creates an SSH key because Claude told me so. Okay, so that server is now up and running. So what we're going to do is we will copy this public IP. We'll come back to the terminal. Get rid of this. And then we're gonna SSH into our server. So we're going to do SSH root at the address, and then I think you can just press yes. So that's just added it to a kind of safe list, I guess. So now, so we'll just do, I'm just following the instructions on the screen. So it says check for new updates, run sudo apps update. So we'll just do that. So it's just going to update all this stuff. All I'm doing here is basically doing what I'm told to do by either Claude that I've got to my left here, or what the terminal suggests I do when I run these commands. Okay, so that's updated. So now we're going to add a user. So it's add user. We'll call it Milo. I'm going to give it a password. I think I can give it not a password. I'll just do that. Okay, I have to give it a password. So when I do a password, it doesn't show up on here, so I can just type it out myself. So we'll just do that. The full name, we'll just go, I'll put my name in, I guess. Neil Stevenson. Room number, I don't know what's going on here. Let's try leaving that blank. Oh yeah, we just ignore these. Sure. Okay, that's done. Now I'm going to paste this command in, which basically gives this user admin privileges. So I think that's done. And then we're going to just paste this command in and hit enter. And what that's doing is it's enabling SSH for this new user, Milo, or whatever yours is called. And then we're going to switch user to Milo. So su Milo, I think. There we go. So now we're the user Milo at the MiloBot server. So now what we're going to do is install Node. So just paste this command in. Again, I didn't know how to do any of this. All I'm doing is literally following what Claude has told me to do. I fed it the GitHub repo and said, I'm installing this, tell me a step-by-step guide of what to do. So I'm running through it for you to demonstrate what it kind of looks like. That seems like it's all done. So it says close and reopen your terminal to start using NVM or run the following to use it now. So I'll just close and reopen the terminal. So we will SSH Milo at my IP. So now I'm in a new terminal. I'm just going to paste this command in. And then I'm going to enable PNPM, which is a kind of package manager. And then we're going to install ClawdBot. So we will run this command, and now ClawdBot is being installed. Okay, so now ClawdBot is installed. Let's just run through this wizard quickly. We'll do quick start. We're going to do Anthropic. You can use Minimax as well. If you're maybe on a slight budget, or I know Anthropic's had some issues recently. I know Peter has recommended using Minimax as well, but we're going to go with Anthropic, and we'll do a run setup token. Let's run that now, and we will keep the default Cloud Opus. We're going to do Telegram bot. That's the easiest one to set up, and then we have to enter a Telegram bot token. So on Telegram, you want to message the bot father and do these commands. So do /new bot, and then give it a name, then give it a username, and it has to be unique. So we've got Milo the cat bot, and it'll give you this message, and it will give you this token to access the API, and below here is what you want to copy and paste into the terminal here. And once you've done that, you can then click on this link here to open the chat with your bot. So I'm just going to copy and paste this token. Now I've just minimized down this terminal so you can't see my code. And then you want to search for get user ID bot on Telegram and say start, and then it will give you this, your user ID. So copy that and give it the give ClawdBot the user ID. What this does, it means that only you can speak to your bot. Otherwise, anyone who knew the username of your bot could speak to him, and then you could ask for all kinds of information, and you don't want that. So yeah, let's configure skills now. Yes, let's do PNPM. And we'll just skip these dependencies for now. We'll come back to that later on. We'll come back to all of this later on in terms of these API keys. So I'll just say no to all of this. So gateway daemon is installed. And let's hatch our bot now. Okay, so now we need to open a new terminal window. So this is a terminal which is on my local computer rather than on the VPS. Then we're going to follow the instructions here, so we'll just copy and paste this and run this command. And I think that's correct. And then we will run this. Unauthorized. Okay, so I had some issues with my regular browser because I accidentally installed it locally before when I was setting it up, and my browser had cached a local version of it. So I opened an incognito window, and it's now worked. So now we have access to the dashboard. So now we need to authorize our Claude subscription. So I'm going to open another new terminal window. I'm going to paste this command. Now I've already got Claude Code installed, but this will now open up a dialog to authorize your Claude account. So in the terminal window that we just had, it will now give you a token that you can use to authorize your Claude subscription. Okay, so I think we need to do this and then paste token. Okay, that didn't work. Let's try this. Let's try ClawdBot models auth add. Okay, this looks more promising. So we want to do Anthropic. I want to paste token. That seems okay. Yes, I think in 1 year. Yep. And I'm going to paste the token here now. Okay, so I've pasted in my token and I just cleared the screen so you can't see it. And now we want to run this command, ClawdBot daemon restart. And then we'll run this just to check. So this all looks like it's working. You can see Telegram is connected. None of these are set up yet, but we can get to that later on. So now we'll go into Telegram. So we'll go to my Milo bot and we'll say hello Milo. And I don't think, will this work? Seems to be typing. It's a promising sign. Okay. So here we go. Here's the setup. So you can answer these questions. So we'll just go through this quickly and say you are Milo. 2, you are a cute black and white cat. 3, I am Neil Stevenson. 4, call me Neil. Okay, so now we have our ClawdBot assistant set up in Telegram. So now let's have a quick look at skills. So I can just say to Milo, what skills do you have? So one of the important things we probably want to do straight away is give it access to web search via the Brave API. So we'll say, can you set up Brave search if I give you my API key? So then what you want to do is just go to Brave search, just search for Brave search, set up an account, get an API key, and just tell it to your assistant and you can set it up so then they can access searching the internet. So then I just paste my API key in here and it will set it up. You can also look at the skills directory to see what else you want to set up. So if we have a quick look back in our UI, if we go to skills, you can look at all the skills that are available and you can install them. Either you can ask your bot to do it for you or you can install them from here. So that's the basics of getting to phase 1 of getting your ClawdBot installed, and now you can communicate with him through Telegram. I hope if you're a non-technical person similar to me that this all made sense, and I hope you're able to follow along. If you got stuck at any point, again, I highly recommend just taking a screenshot, sending it to Claude or ChatGPT and saying, here's what I'm trying to do, please, what do I do here? And they can tell you what buttons to press, what to click, what to select, etc. I've done that a lot during the filming of this video. I'm going to keep this video series going where I keep building on this, adding more skills, capabilities, and this video will probably be out of date in terms of the skill set in like 2 days because Peter and the community are developing new features, new skills, everything, every single day, pushing new releases every single day. It is quite incredible how much this has taken off and the rate of improvement that is happening. I'd encourage anyone interested in this to join the Discord and you can see how active the community is in there. Lastly, I just want to give a big shout out to Peter Steinberger for having built this and putting in all the time that he has been over the last month or so. It's an incredible project and it's one of my favorite things I've come across on the internet in a couple of years. I believe that this is the basis with which you can have a truly useful personal assistant / employee / co-founder / executive assistant that can actually do really useful stuff for you and make your day much more productive. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope this was helpful, and I'll see you in the next video very soon.